Good morning, St. Luke's.
Good morning.
My name is Amanda Wallingford, and among other things, I am a 10 o'clocker, a daughter, a sister, a wife, a mother, and a mortgage loan officer. A couple of months ago, in his capacity as a member of the worship committee, Tom Hargrove approached me about doing the sermon for Laity Sunday, Labor Day. I said I would think about it, but was surprised they asked me. As a residential lender, I spend my time calculating income and explaining the mortgage process to people. There is nothing particularly spiritual about it, and public speaking is not something I relish doing. A week or two passed, and then Tom Stallman followed up with me to see if I had agreed. What could I say? Stallman, the stalwart of St. Luke's, and his cohort, Hargrove the Hallowed, are not to be trifled with. If they ask you to do something, you are doing it. So here I am. The assignment was to prepare a talk about how being a Christian relates to my work. Naturally, I believe being a Christian informs how I show up in the world. At least I hope it does. As I was turning things over in my head, thinking about what I wanted to say, about work in general, my work specifically, and how they intersect with my faith, I discovered three truths. Number one, work is expected. Number two, work is a blessing. Number three, work is one way God shapes our lives, and we honor Him with our best efforts. Number one, work is expected. Consider the creation: 6 days of work and 1 day for rest. That is God's work ethic. Work is also a part of being made in God's image. All sorts of labor and workers are mentioned in the Bible: fishermen, innkeepers, physicians, midwives, judges, tax collectors, bakers, wine stewards, shepherds, farmers, potters, priests, soldiers, weavers, and of course, carpenters. Doing nothing is not an option in God's economy. The only one rebuked in the parable of the talents is the one who did nothing. He buried his talent. Young or old, big or small, everyone has something they can do, something to contribute, and they are expected to. Honest work done with integrity and love enriches the doer in the process and honors God. Number two, work is a blessing. God gave us the capacity and calling to work, which adds dignity to our efforts. Having somewhere to go, something useful to do, and an outlet for our talents is part of God's plan for us. We are supposed to use our talents, and God honors labor. Take time to be thankful for the work you do, paid or otherwise. It is easy to get caught up in the challenges and frustrations that inevitably come our way, but these can strengthen us and teach us about ourselves and the world. In my daily work, I speak with people about how best to accomplish financing a home. Buying a home is a big thing. It is more than just a building. It is where we live our lives, raise our families, experience joy, sorrow, and everything in between. Home is our refuge in the world. I feel honored to share this process with our borrowers. We hear from everyone: first-time buyers hoping to make the leap from renter to owner, parents expecting their first child and realizing they'll need a bigger space when the baby comes home from the hospital, military families relocating again, newly single buyers starting over, empty nesters who want a lower maintenance property, elderly couples leaving their long-term homes to join a retirement community. Most of our borrowers are going through a major life transition, and we meet them where they are. They look to us to assist them with the transition wherever they are on their journey. Some are excited about the transition and what the future holds. Others are anxious or even dreading the future, and some are a combination of both. The mortgage industry reflects life. We know that this can be a stressful process even under the best circumstances. We work hard to minimize the stress for our borrowers with education, options, and communication. Helping them get from one point to the next is our goal, and making sure they are confident and comfortable with the process is always at the heart of what we do. Looking beyond the numbers, the ratios, and the guidelines, we see the whole person, and often their hopes and fears. And that is part of God's plan. The best part of my job is going to closing and knowing we helped make that happen with the least amount of stress. Number 3, work is one of the ways God shapes our lives. We spend a lot of time at work. We know that God is with us in our comings and goings, and God is with us in our labor. For many of us, work is where we interact with people who are different than we are. People who think and see the world differently than we do. People who we might not otherwise get to know and might not otherwise have the chance to learn about their culture and traditions. Whether they are colleagues, clients, or customers, we can open ourselves to another perspective, and the other becomes more familiar. Work is also where we learn about ourselves and hopefully grow in our skills and understanding. So maybe standing up here speaking to you today is one of those opportunities for me. Here I am, a couple of months after the 2 Toms of the worship committee asked me to do this. I was reluctant because I wasn't considering the bigger picture. The Spirit is moving in our work, whatever that may be. It's easy to get blinded by the daily minutiae that make up our workday without considering where those efforts lead, places we wouldn't end up without putting in the effort. I know in order to keep growing, we are supposed to do something that scares us every now and then. So now that I've done something that scares me, I challenge you to do likewise. What task that scares you is God calling you to do? And finally, one of the best parts about work is the feeling of accomplishment when it is done. The satisfaction of looking at your efforts, the results you produced, and knowing you've earned your rest. Happy Labor Day.